Hello everybody, I am Dr. Nidhi Gupta, Assistant Professor in AKGEC Engineering College. Today we are going to discuss another topic of human-computer interface, that are menus. So we all have heard this term menus in our whenever we go for any of the screens, computer screens, displays, we come across this word menu. We have seen many types of menus whenever we go for any of the application, software application. We see different type of menus are there, and the contents, we actually click on those menus. We click on the correct option that we are going to that suits us, and we do our work. So these are the menus which are very important, a critical component whenever we go for any graphical user interface. So as we know that graphical user interface is dealing with many of the components, having the diagrammatic representation of different things, and menu plays an important role because menus gives us the information there regarding our work, or it may give some commands that we can select, from where we can select and we can do our work done. So being the critical component, the menus, so today we are going to discuss about the menus, different types of menus, and how the content should be placed, how these menus should be placed in the screens, computer screens, so that it should look attractive as well as it can serve the purpose of the user. The user should not feel distracted, it should not feel frustrated when it come across our own application. So it is very important because we know that in today's world there are multiple options with the customer, especially if we are going for any web application or any of the, for example, if any of the online shopping site is not having a good look, good interface, good menus. So and the users, customers are feeling difficult to work on that because they are, maybe it is quite complex. So the user will switch on, and there are multiple options. So why user will go for your particular online site? So it is very important and a critical component that we need to take care of the different graphical user component, interface components that we are having, so that we can attract the user, we can attract the customers, and maybe it when we come across any business application, it will lead to the profit as well. So let's start with today's topic, that is menus. So the listing of choices are commonly called menus. Menus are a major form of navigation through a system, and if properly designed, it assists the user in developing a mental model of the system. In this step, the following menu topics will be addressed. The first is the structure of menus, the function of menus, content of menus, formatting menus, writing menus, navigation using menus, website navigation and links, and types of graphical menus. So the graphical and web systems are heavily menu oriented. They vary in the form and are applied in diverse ways. So in graphical systems, they are used to designate commands, properties that apply to an object, document, and windows. When selected a graphical menu item, it may lead to another menu, cause a window to be displayed, or directly cause an action to be performed. To accomplish these goals, a graphical system presents a variety of menu styles to choose from. So the user is having the multiple options, multiple type of menus from where it can choose. So included are the entities commonly called menu bars, and the menus like pull down menu, pop-up menu, cascades, tear off, iconic menu. So all these components are there when we go for any of the menu. So in website design, common menus include textual links to other pages, command buttons, and both graphical and textual tools. So we have seen that the website pages are also having the menus, and there are, when we click on those values, there are the links, and we may proceed to the another page. So the structure of menus, the first is the single menu. In this simplest form of menu, a single screen or window is represented to seek the user input or request an action to be performed. As illustrated in figure this, we can see over here, this is a simple menu. Over here, only a single menu is there. It is provided as the information, and there are different buttons like OK, connect, another disconnected, info, whatever we want, we will click on the particular option. So no other menu will follow, necessitating additional user choices. So the options which are available, they are just we want to click or not. That's it, because no another menu will be opened when we click on these single menus. So these are the single menus that are used to accept the input or to show the output. So the next is the sequential linear menus. So in case of sequential linear menus, they are represented on a series of screens. So as we can see over here, these are the figure over here is seeing that there are series of screens. When we go click on a particular menu, there comes another one, many menus are there which are available. So over here also we can see when we there is a maybe the internet connection option is there. When we click on this connect, there is another menu will come for the IP address and for the other settings. So this is another, this is called sequential linear menus. Linear because it is coming in a linear order. When we click on a particular thing, and then only we come to the next menu. So the next is, as the name suggests, simultaneous menus. So simultaneous means that it is coming in one go only. So as the name suggests, so simultaneously it comes. So instead of being presented on separate screens, all menu options are available simultaneously, as we see in this figure. So the menu may be completed in the order desired by the user choices, being skipped and returned to later. So problems, again, the simultaneous menus are good enough because no need, when we are clicking on one, it is not coming another, then another. Some people get frustrated, oh, how much menus are there, I need to click on again, it is coming another one, and so on. So we have the option, we have the solution, we can go for this simultaneous menus. But again there is a problem, and the problem as suggests that 4 alternatives over here is there in a single screen. We have 4 alternatives, so we have to fill all these 4. The user will fill 4, and so it is simultaneously giving the input, and then we proceed. So the problems with simultaneous menus are for large collection of menus alternative. So sometimes it has become very cumbersome or a very cluttered way. So that 4 are there in a particular screen. So the screen clutter can easily occur, and screen paging or scrolling may still be necessary to view all the choices, because if there are multiple menus, more than 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so we obviously need to use the scrolling. We need to go for scrolling. Now the next structure of menus is hierarchical menu. As the name suggests, it is forming a hierarchy. The hierarchy deals with, there is one top, then we have some sub-menus, then again we have multiple menus, sub-menus, and it goes on and on and on. So when many relationship exist between menu alternatives, and some menu options are only appropriate depending upon a previous menu selection. then a hierarchy structure is the best solution. So it depends that if there is a main menu, maybe the menu 1 is the main menu, and according to the option that the main menu gives, the user will give the option, the another menu will open. So in that case we go for hierarchical one. So in this figure, as we can see, the menu 1 is the main one, and menu 1 is leading to the menu 2, 3 and 4. And if the user is selecting the menu 2, then it come across with menu 3, 5 and 6. The menu 5 and 6 will get open. So in that case, menu 7, 8, 3 and 4 will not be open again. Okay, so in that case, not all the menus get opens. The menu the menu will open according to the user input only. Now the next is connected menu. So in this case, there are multiple menus and these menus are connected to each other. So the connected menus are the network of menus, all interconnected in some manner. So the biggest advantage of connected menu network is that this menu gives us full control over the navigation flow. So over here from the menu 3 I can reach to menu 2, from 3 to I can reach to 5 and so on. So it is giving us the navigation control over the navigation flow. Event trapping menu. As the name suggests, event trapping. Whenever some event happens, then something could take place. It happens like so. Provide ever-present background of control over the system state parameters while the user is working on the foreground task. In case I am changing any of the foreground task, I am having a task, maybe I am changing the background color. In that case, if I am doing something on the foreground, then something is happening on the background automatically. So this type of menus are called event trapping. So whenever an event occurs in the foreground, something would happen at the background. Okay. So it serves three functions. The first is immediately change some parameter in the current environment. That is, if I am doing something bold, so maybe something could appear. So it is waiting for an event to occur. If that event triggers, then something would happen, some event would happen. So second is take user out of current environment to perform functions. Just like whenever I am writing anything on a screen and it is automatically doing the spell check. So it is one of the example. So exit and allow user to go to the new environment. So exit button exits and it allows user to go to the new environment. So this is another event that may happen. Now the functions of menus are, the first is navigation to a new menu, execute an action or procedure, displaying information, data or parameter input. So four elements of menus are the menu context. It provides the information to keep the user oriented. Another is menu title. It provides the it provides a current menu, that is the menu title. Choice description provides a current set of choices that we are having. So these descriptions can range from mnemonic, numeric or alphabetized listing. So the menu may have the multiple choice, and as we know that many of the cases we have seen that mnemonics, that is shortcut keys, are given whenever there is a menu, and if it is there like file, edit, open, some shortcut mnemonics are given or numeric or given, or maybe alphabetic, but some of the alphabet get bold. So it is representing that it is a shortcut key for this. So completion instructions, that it tells user how to indicate their choices, what are these choices means, and what it is indicating. So these instructions are also available when we go for the menu. Formatting of menus. The first is the consistency is very much required. So it provides a consistency with the user expectation. Whatever the user is expecting, it should do like this. So it provides consistency in menu, that is formatting, including organization, presentation of menus, choice ordering, all these things should be consistent. So phrasing, including titles, choice descriptions and instructions. So it also includes choice selection methods. So what are choices we are going to select? Navigation schemes are there, how to we are switching on one menu to another. So consistency is one of the requirement for the menu. So consistency must be there. The second is the display. If continual or frequent references to the menu is there, many times it happens that a particular menu is there and we are requiring it frequently in our work. So it must be placed somewhere that the user is having, it is easy for the user to refer to the menu again and again. So it should not obscure other screen data as well, and it should be placed in a clear place. So if continual or frequent references to the menu options are necessarily permanently displayed the menu in an area of the screen that will not obscure other screen data. So if only occasional references to menu options are necessary, the menu may be presented on demand. So the critical options should be continuously displayed. However, the presentation, organization of the menus are also very important. So the presentation is should be obvious with a unique and consistent structure, and the organization is to provide a main menu, display that all the relevant alternatives are available, and inactive choices should be grey out and active choices should be displayed. Minimize number of menu levels, because too much menu levels, it is leading to the confusion and even the it increases the complexity. And the number of menu choices present on the screen should be limited. So it should not be too much, because it is leading to the problems, and it should not be too less also, because the menu choices should be appropriate. So formatting of menus. So 4 to 8 choices without logical grouping of elements should be there. So why we group? We form a group. Sometimes it happens that we are doing a work, and in that work we always require some set of instructions, for some set of commands. So what we can do is, we can place those commands in a particular group. So we can form the group out of the given options. So it says that 4 to 8 choices without logical grouping of elements is enough, and 18 to 24 choices with logical grouping of elements with no more than 10 items within a group. So obviously there is always a limit on number of elements, number of items in a group also, because a group cannot be too large or it cannot be too small. So a group element should be appropriate. So it says like 18 to 24 choices with groups are much enough, and 8 items should be there in a particular group. So it never requires menus to be scrolled. The complexity is provide both simple and complex menus. So item arrangement should be oriented from top to bottom reading. Left justify description should be there. Organization from left to right reading should be there. So it all comes in the formatting of menus. Ordering of menus, that the numeric order should be there. Sequencing, frequency of occurrence need to consider. Importance of menus and semantic similarity. So what are the different similarities on the two type of menus? It should also be considered. In case if there is a semantic similarity, it should place one after the another. So the grouping, as we discussed, it creates a grouping of items that are logical, unique, meaningful and mutually exclusive. It should not happen that the same choice is there, it is sharing between the two menus. Both menus should be, the choices should be mutually exclusive. Categorize them in such a way as to maximize the similarity of items within a category, minimize the similarity of items across the categories. So, we need to categorize in such a way. Present no more than 6 or 7 groupings on the screen. As we discussed, separate grouping created through either wider spacing or thin ruled line. So, whenever we have multiple groups, we can put a separator. We will see in further discussions that it can be a wider spacing or a thin line can be there to separate the menus. Provide immediate access to critical or frequently chosen items. So, obviously, as I discussed that whatever menus we are required in frequently, so there should be a immediate access. It should be placed in such a way that it should be available whenever required. So, as I told you that formatting of menus, over here the line separator, we can see in this figure that there is a pop-up edit menu, and on the first it is giving us the option. If we are doing right click, it is giving us the option like undo or cut, copy, paste, delete. So, for modification, all the things are there in a particular group, and these groups are separated by means of a line. So, this line is called line separator in a menu. So, it separates vertically arrayed grouping with subtitle solid lines. Separate vertically arrayed subgrouping with subtitle dotted or dashed lines. Or for independent grouping, extend the line to left and right menu borders. So, these are the kind of separators we can apply. Phrasing the menus. So, how to phrase the menu? We want to place the menu. If I want to go for a menu in our software, then the first and foremost thing is the menu title. It should be short, simple, distinctive title should be there. Okay. So, the menu title is always required. Then we have menu choice description. So, the menu choices can be single, compound or multi-words. The user task oriented data, not data oriented wording should be there. It should be in accordance to the task, not in accordance to the name or the data, the words it is containing. It must never use the same wording as its menu title. So, if we are talking of the choices, it should not be similar. It should not as same as the menu title. Identical choices on different menus should be worded identically. Okay. So, the identical choices, if it is there, then it should indicate that these are the identical things. So, it should word in a same manner. It should name it in a same manner. We can also apply the keyboard accelerators. These are very important whenever the user want to speed up the task. So, many people, those who love doing typings, so they always they always go for the accelerators. So, like Control B, Control A for selecting all the data, Control B, Control I. So, these are the shortcuts, just like we used to say, these are the keyboard accelerators. And similarly, we have keyboard equivalents like normal, bold, italic. So, over here we know that we can do this normal, bold, italics by means of shortcut keys. So, these are one of the important thing that we need to consider when we go for the menus formatting. So, formatting of menus, over here see the intent indicators can also be placed. So, to cascade indicator, place a triangle or right pointing solid arrow following the choice. So, whenever there is a triangle over here after the menu choice, it is indicating that it is a cascade window. That is, another sub window will also appear. When we click on this triangle, we get another window, and if in case like DTED, over here it is written, and there may be another cascading window. If we want to add, then we will place triangle over here, and this cascade window will appear like this. So these are the indicators that we apply on the menus so that it is easier for the user in one go only that it is containing another menu as well. Similarly, predefined maps, as we can see 3 dotted lines over here, map intensity, 3 dotted lines. So it is saying, it is indicating that the window indicator is there, that another window may appear, will appear when we click on this. So it is not ending over here. So these kind of intent indicators that are required, and it is required whenever we go for any of the placing of any or designing of any menus. Now, selecting the menu choices, initial cursor position we need to set by default, because when we go for any of the menu designing, then there must be some default position we need to mention, that initial cursor positioning. Again, the choice selection we need to mention as a default, that is pointers, how should the pointer should appear, keyboard items, selection execution, how it appears, combining techniques and defaults. So provide a default wherever possible. So unavailable choices should be dimmed or gray out. So it should not happen that if any of the choice, if I am writing a text and some of the choices are not applicable to that. We generally see in MS Word or any of the Microsoft tool that some of the choices get disabled automatically. It is a right way. Just like that, if we are writing anything and if our choices are not applicable, then the user must be having the idea that these choices will not be applicable to this particular work. So it should be gray out, not black and not bold. Then mark toggles of settings. So the purpose, why we go for this toggles, the use of designate that an item or feature is acting over a relatively long period of time. So whenever we want to designate this, we go for this toggles. The use to provide a reminder that an item or feature is active or inactive. The position the indicator to the left of the options. For situations where several non-exclusive choices may be selected, consider including one alternative that deselects all the items and reverts the state to the normal condition. So there should be the toggles that should be available, just like we go for reset option and it return to the default automatically. So all the changes get toggle up. So these kind of things should be there. So this is about the toggles. So the main purpose is to use to designate two opposite commands that are accessed frequently. So use when the menu items displayed will clearly indicate that opposite conditions currently exist. So it provides a meaningful, fully spelled out description of actions. Begin with a clear verb. Use mixed letter. So these are the purpose for the toggled menu items. Now the kind of different graphical menus. What are the different kind of menus which are available? The first is the menu bar. Second is pull down bar. Third is cascading menu bar. And the fourth is pop-up menu. And the fifth is iconic menu. So this menu bar, as we can see over here, that this is a menu bar available. This is the menu bar of a WordPad. It is having some option on the top right, minimize, like closing, maximize. All these options are available, and along with that we have some menus like file, edit, view, insert, format, help. These are the sub menus which are available. So the advantages is always visible. If we go for this kind of a menu, so these options are always visible. There is a menu bar, not another menu which is appearing. So easy to browse, do not obscure the screen working area, everything is visible and it is placing very wisely over there. And allow for use of keyboard equivalent. It also allows for keyboard shortcuts. But there are some disadvantages. The first is it consumes a full row of screen space. As we can see over there, the full row is consumed by this menu only. If it is better, we place a menu, pull down menu is there, then in that case everything is hidden and when we click it, the menu will appear. So over here it is obscuring. It is not obscuring, but it is basically showing everything, and whenever maybe we don't need this sometimes, and it is placing permanently over there. So it requires looking away from the main working area to find. Okay. It requires moving pointer from main working area to select. So we need to move the pointer every time we need to go for the working area. We need to see every time. The user need to switch on the eyes, switch on and off the eyes from the working area, because the menu is little bit far from that particular place. Because this is the working area, over here we are going to write and this menu is over here. Maybe we move to the we scroll down, the text is quite large and we scroll down and down, and then again we need to come up for the particular menus. So it is indicating like this. So it requires moving pointer from main working area to select. Horizontal orientation is less efficient for scanning. So all primary windows must have a menu bar, and all menu bars must have associated pull down menu containing at least 2 choices. So do not allow the user to turn off the display of the menu bar, and it should be located at the top of the screen, just below the screen title. So the use single word choices whenever possible. Order choice left to right with most frequent choices to the left. Related information should be grouped together. Help when included should be located at the right side. Layout, file, edit, options, help, this kind of layout should be there. Separate the bar from the remainder of the screen by different background, solid lines. There should be a separation. Use reverse color selection cursor to surround the choices. The next is the pull down menu. As I have just said, pull down is when we click on the option and a menu appears. So that is called pull down. A small number of items, it is appropriate when there are small number of items. Item best represented textually. Items whose content really change. So this is the proper usage of these pull down menus. So the advantage is no window space is consumed when they are not used. Allow for display of both keyboard equivalents and accelerators. Vertical orientation permits more choices to be displayed. So vertical orientation may be appropriate one. Disadvantages require searching and selecting. Require moving the pointer again out of the working area to select, as we have the single menu case. May obscure the screen working area as well, because whenever a menu will appear, it will always appear in front of the already text, in front of the working area only. So this is one of the problem. This position the pull down menu directly below the selected menu bar choices and restrict it to not more than 5 to 10 choices. Otherwise it would be complex. So highlight the first character of the pull down descriptions under the second character of the applicable menu bar choices. If a menu item establishes or changes the attribute of data or properties of the interface, mark the pull down choice or choices with the state in current and active on state. Grouping is again it is required. We can group, mark toggles, cascade or leading to other window indicators should be marked, keyboard accelerator should be there. So the cascade menus, as we discussed earlier also, this triangle is showing there is a choice, and triangle is showing the another menu, and then another menu appears. These kind of things keep on appearing. So advantages: top level menus are simplified because some choices are hidden. Most first letter mnemonics are available because menus possess fewer alternatives. So the first menu itself, it is a abstract, it is giving us the abstract idea that what all options are available, and we click on the particular one and we go deep into that if we want to. And the disadvantage is to access the sub-menu items require more steps. Access to sub-menu items require a change in pointer at the moment. Place an arrow or right pointing triangle to the right of each menu. Leave the choice leading to the cascade menu highlight. Do not exceed 3 menu levels. So menu level should be up to 2 to 3 maximum. Pop-up menus, the choices as we see can also present alternative or choices within the text context of the task. Pop-up menus may be requested when the mouse pointer is positioned over a designated or hot area of the screen. It is required. Advantage is they do not use window space when they are not displayed, because we open it whenever it is required. They appear in the working area only. So their existence, and the disadvantages, their existence must be learned and remembered where it is, because it is not visible. We are opening it whenever we require. It may obscure the screen working area and require a special action to see the menu. So we need to do the mouse click somewhere, that whether any shortcut menu is there or not, or something would pop up or not. So this is again a problem. So this is the iconic menu. As we can see, this icons are available, and through these icons the visualization is always better, we know, and through these icons we come to know which all options are available. So these kind of menus, different menus are available in the literature, and user can use these menus in their particular application as and when required, and what kind of menu the user should have and the design guidelines for those menus are being discussed in this lecture, and we'll come up with another topic of this design screens in the forthcoming lectures. So till then, bye, take care, thank you.